What's going on? My name's Mateo, and in this video, we're gonna talk about how I lifted this sunken sidewalk. If you think I'm gonna tell you to pay some company thousands of dollars to do it, not so fast, my friends. Stick around and find out. Let's start with the first thing I tried. I had an excavator for the weekend to get the base ready for the pavers, so I figured why not try to lift the sidewalk with the excavator. We tried to lift one side at a time, adding shims every couple of feet, and then moving on to the next side. We did this on all three sides twice, so I thought we raised it by a lot, but looking at the string line and the level, it looked like we were still off by about 3 inches. This technique probably raised the sidewalk about an inch or so. I can't say for sure because I didn't take the measurements beforehand. Which brings me to the second method I tried. This requires a shovel, a few bottle jacks, and some spray foam. The more jacks you have, the more lifting points you'll have on the concrete, which will prevent cracking. If you don't have any bottle jacks, do like me and ask your friends on Facebook. I borrowed a few, and on Amazon there's a few for 20 bucks. I dug holes to fit the bottle jacks under the concrete slab. I put wood under the bottle jacks to keep the bottle jacks from sinking into the dirt. And the wood I used was just leftover cut-offs from the gazebo roofing project. I then pumped the bottle jacks until I felt a lift. At this point, it's probably a good idea to get a level and keep checking as you gradually jack up the sidewalk. I also found it to work best by pumping a few times, moving on to the next jack, pumping some more, and so on. There was a few times where I topped out the bottle jacks, so I had to lower it down again, add some more wood, and then raise it back up. Once you've raised the sidewalk to your desired level, it's time to fill in the gap. I easily raised mine by like 3 to 4 inches in some areas, so it's going to be a lot of filling. If you have rocks or bricks laying around, it'll probably save you on some foam. I had some spray foam tanks left over from another project, so that's what I ended up using. If you're doing it like me and you're using old foam tanks that were left sitting in a garage for a few months, make sure to take a garbage bag and spray into it for about 5 seconds and make sure you see the foam expanding as it normally would. That's one of the mistakes I made here. I also tried to use a piece of PEX as an extension, but that was also a mistake. This froth pack shoots so far without it, so just shoot with the regular tip. I then sprayed all along the sidewalk, spraying deep into the cavity, trying to go as deep as I could. I then sprayed again 10 minutes later onto that already expanded foam, and this allowed the entire cavity to be filled. I was scared of lowering the bottle jacks too soon, so I let it cure for about 24 hours before removing them. I cut off all the excess foam around the pool sidewalk, but this is totally unnecessary and probably my OCD kicking in. I had just enough bottle jacks to lift half the pool sidewalk, so I split this project into 2 halves because, to be honest, I was not looking forward to removing all these old pavers, so I just put it up on Marketplace for $0 and someone came and took all the pavers out. This time around, I measured the pitch. I had a 3-inch drop over 3 feet. I was able to dig and lift this part of the sidewalk in less than 2 hours. I then removed about 4 inches of dirt all around the sidewalk. The next morning, I got started on the spray foam. As I started spraying under the sidewalk, I realized the tanks were coming to an end. Giggity, giggity, giggity. So I got the 1-inch big gap foam and some 3-inch super big gap foam cans. In total, I used 5 cans for this little section of sidewalk. The 3-inch big gap cans showed little to no difference from the 1-inch foam. I let everything cure for 2 days before removing the bottle jacks. As I released the pressure from the bottle jack, the sidewalk moved down as well. It didn't move by much, but 1/8 of an inch is not nothing. This one here is the foam from the little cans, and you can see with my finger test that this is squishy and spongy. And this one here is from the big foam tanks. You can see that it's very dense and very hard. I guess great stuff is not so great for this stuff. If you want to learn how to build a gazebo like this, stay tuned and I'll show you in the next video.